the thing opens up for him.
GP2, engine. GP2.
Are you okay?
Another throttle pedal issue for Charles Leclerc.
Now it's 0%.
Lewis Hamilton is an 8-time world champion.
And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer racing driver.
So box.
Keep it saying now.
No, stay.
Hey man,
No, sorry. Okay, just go.
I was at the entry man. We're in trouble.
Negative. Stay now.
And it's Nico Rosberg and Hamilton's onto the grass and Hamilton's had a massive crash and he's crashed into his teammate. The two Mercedes come together.
This is Solo P1 or Solo P1. Welcome to the Spanish Grand Prix live reaction 2023. So today, yesterday I was on my own. Yesterday I was doing a quick qualifying, just review really, a live reaction. It was a bit late, but I still got it in. But today we are joined once again. He wasn't here yesterday, but he's back. This is TOTO Ama.
Yeah.
How's it going, TOTO?
Yeah, man, it's going good.
How is your lovely day? Because the weather's hot where I am, and
Yeah, I am. It's nice weather as well. I am, and
pictures looking good as well.
After this video, might go outside, enjoy the sun.
Don't blame you. Now, it was Mercedes.
Oh, yeah.
The thing about it, yeah, it's nice to see TOTO again, you know, because I haven't seen TOTO talk to the Sky Sports commentators for a long time. And today, he had a full speech, man, standing there in his white shirt, standing there and saying, look, we're back. We're not back yet, but we're going to keep improving. We're going to bring kind of a DRS kind of system to Canada, a bit like Red Bulls. They're going to start moving forward. The team's going in the right direction. They're going to pick the right concept. They're going with the right concept. And next year, it's going to be a new concept to match the Red Bulls. So it's happy days for Mercedes because this track, listen, at the beginning of the weekend, I wasn't really optimistic. I said this on my qualifying video yesterday. And I wasn't really optimistic about this weekend. It was just dry, dragging on. Look, we knew Max Verstappen was going to win this race. We know this. We know he's won the world title. He's a 2023 world champion. We know this, 3-time world champion. Well, I'd say 1-time world champion. This is probably the only legit one he's actually won. If you take out the cost cap from last year and the Abu Dhabi 2021, this is the one that he's won outright. So he will become the world champion, Max Verstappen. But they're saying now, Mercedes, when I was interviewing Lewis Hamilton, they were saying that maybe towards the end of the season, maybe a little bit after Silverstone, maybe last 4 or 5 races of the season, that they can probably race for wins. So let's see what happens. I'm not going to really jump the gun yet. I'm patient. I've been patient for the last year and a half because past year and a half, Mercedes has been in the toilet, and now it looks like they're getting out of that toilet. Maybe they're wiping their ass. That's what they're doing now. Anyway, I'm not going to go what am I talking about. But what do you think of it, TOTO? What do you think what happened today? What do you think of it getting a 2 and 3 for Mercedes?
Out of the Mercs, I think Russell had a good race because he didn't have to qualify. He got eliminated in I think he got eliminated in Q2. Yeah, he got eliminated in Q2.
Yeah.
And he started out of the points, but he came back to finish P3, and that's the strategy that they had was good. Hamilton's strategy was good. It was on the soft compound at the end. Russell was on the soft compound at the end, and there was no way that Perez was going to catch him at the end either. Russell had the pace. No way Perez would have caught 4 seconds in 1 lap to go.
Oh no.
So look, Russell had a good race, came back. Hamilton had a good race. There was a tangle in the first lap between Lando and Hamilton. Had a tangle, and then lucky Lando hit Hamilton's rear. If it would have been on the side where the side pods were, it wouldn't have been good for Hamilton. He would have probably lost pace. But that tangle between Lando got the worst of it. Hamilton carried on. Didn't need the
I know we're gonna talk about more of that and debrief. That's the boring stuff. That's the stuff like Toto likes. He's the guy who looks to like what go through everything with a fine tooth comb. That's Toto. The analysis, the future engineer. Really, we ain't got a clue. We just wing it. But yeah, that's what Toto does. We on Monday. We maybe not this Monday. It might be Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. We do the debrief where we go into analysis. We pick 2 teams, and we'll basically say. Maybe you could do better this way if we was on the pit wall. So basically, we become the engineers, we become the race directors. That's what we become. We actually become the FIA as well. FIA. Imagine me as the FIA. Oh, yeah. Anyway, So I think it was an amazing race. I thought Lewis's strategy was spot on. I don't know what Toto. I mean, I don't know what Ferrari was doing with Sainz pitting him. They should have kept him out a bit longer, but I guess they made a mistake again. But we're getting that from Ferrari. That's what we expect from Ferrari. But the pace looked good for Mercedes. Alonso looked like he was struggling a little bit with his tyres. It looks like he was struggling a bit with his handling. He was been struggling all weekend. Alonso have. Yeah, that's it really. I think I'm happy for Mercedes. I'm happy for Lewis Hamilton. Yeah. I'm happy for Russell. I like to see the 2 Mercedes side by side next to Max. So Max is in the middle and you got the 2 Mercedes next to him. Like to say, yeah, we're coming for you, bro. This is the 2 Mercedes guys, yeah? This is Russell and it's like an intimidation kind of thing. You got Max there in the middle and you got the two Mercedes. Mercedes are Liverpool. Mercedes are Liverpool and Red Bull are Man City. Liverpool are chasing. See, Man City knows that the only team that's gonna get them is the Klopp team. And he fears Klopp. Just like the only team that Red Bull fear is Mercedes. They don't fear Ferrari. They don't fear Aston Martin. They fear Mercedes because they know Mercedes have got the engineers, they've got the resources to get them. And it's just a matter of time before they catch up. So, tell me more about the race, bro. We've got at least 8 minutes left.
Yeah, man, look. Of course, there was lots of lap 1 controversy. And where Stroll was, I think Hamilton was fair play going into the first corner.
Yeah.
And then Stroll took him. I thought it was Alonso but Stroll had a better qualifying and Alonso had a bad qualifying, so that's why Stroll was ahead of him. And look, as soon as Stroll passed him, I was thinking, look, Hamilton don't need to push. So it's a 66 lap race.
I know.
You don't need to push.
And you mean on the soft tyres? He was chilling on them soft tyres.
Yeah. And look, the tyre, I'm not going to talk in depth for the tyre for the debrief, but the tyres are really good.
We'll pick Lewis this week. They're really manageable. We'll pick Mercedes this week. Huh? We'll pick Mercedes. We'll pick Mercedes and we'll pick probably Ferrari, maybe for the debrief. What you reckon?
Yeah.
Okay.
And look, the Aston Martin, as soon as Russell's coming through the pack with the Aston Martin, usually the Aston Martin beats us. They usually beat it because Aston Martin is a really good car and they copied the Red Bull concept and then they're starting to get podiums. But today they finished mid. They finished in the midfield. We was up there in the top 3. And Russell was overtaking Aston Martin. Hamilton was overtaking Stroll. Russell overtook Alonso. And look, that's a good start because the Mercedes beat Perez. And Perez, at the end of the day, might not be the same car, but it's still a Red Bull. Still the fastest car on there. We're not faster than Red Bull yet. Nowhere near. You saw that in the doubt. You saw that in the gap between Verstappen and Hamilton. We're nowhere near faster than the Red Bull yet. But maybe towards the end of the season, might be challenging for the wins with Red Bull. And next season, that's when we'll be challenged for the constructors. That's when Hamilton and Russell will be challenged for the Drivers' Championship. Let's hope there's no controversy there. But Hamilton wants to win his 9th world title.
I'm glad you said that. No.
his ninth world title.
I'm gonna go through it quick. So basically at the beginning, when we have the parade lap, we have the the lap before they have the ceremony. Russell came off into the gravel. I don't know what he was doing. I'm not sure if he was trying to do donuts in the stones, but this was just a normal parade lap. The lap where they go around, where they put the cars into the grid, and then they go and do the ceremony. So Russell came off in a warm-up lap. So lights out of the way we go. Lewis got a brilliant start. Jumped to Lando. Lando was a bit feisty at the beginning, but he was just trying to get through, just being a driver. It is what it is. It wasn't no penalty in my book. The only thing I was worried at the time is when he hit Lewis, that he didn't damage Lewis's car. I thought Lewis would have got a puncher because they were saying on the TV, Lewis might have a puncher, And I just put my hand in my head and said, you know what, this race is done already. And I was thinking, come on, Lewis, what's going on? Then I saw Lewis making up time, and I thought his car was fine. I knew Lando had to come into the pits because he smashed up his front wing. Because when the front wing goes into the back of the car, there's only one way it's going to happen. The back of the car will be fine. It's one thing I say about the Formula One car. The rear of the car is quite hard. It's quite strong, but the front of the car is weak. So Lando lost position instantly and came into the pits, and it was plumb last. Laps 7 or 8, basically lap 16, science pits. Lewis just put Lewis stayed on his stint for at least 8 or 10 laps longer than Sainz. So Sainz pitted. He was on the soft tyres. Lewis was on the soft tyres. Lewis let his tyres last. It was still fine on it. So Lewis done a longer stint on the soft tyres. Came out to Bono and said, Bono, tyres are fine. Let's go. So basically, I think Ferrari, when they pit Sainz, I thought was a little bit early. But it doesn't matter. Lewis stayed out. And I thought it was looking good for Lewis for a second there. I said yesterday in the video that Lewis will probably get first, Max second, and third will be Sainz. But today it was even, Lewis didn't get the win, but he was on the podium and got second. And third was Russell. Love to see the two Mercs on the podium. That's what I want to see more of this season. I want to see the two Mercs because everybody knows when you do good at the back end of the season, usually when the next season starts, it's going to be good. Lewis said that the car feels great. He said to Bono on the radio, Lewis, at one time, at lap 19, Lewis was a tenth faster than Max Verstappen, just on the same tyres, them soft tyres. That was only for one lap into Max after beat it again. So lap 25, Lewis pits, but done a 3.0 on the medium tyres. It was a little bit slow 3.0. Could have got a 2.8, maybe a 2.5, but it didn't work out. But it is what it is. Yeah, exactly. So when he came out of the pits, he was 2.5 seconds behind Sainz. So that was good to go. And Sainz pitted like 10 laps before, or 8 laps before. So it was happy days for Lewis. Lewis was always going to pass him. So lap 2.5, he was behind Sainz when he come out the pits. So clearly the strategy worked. Lewis going longer in the soft tyres. Lap 26, Russell pits, puts on the tyres. And then it was just it was a formality from there. It was just formal. We knew what was going to happen. It was just go through the motions. But the only thing what was a bit at the end, when Lewis picked the second time, lap 50, Perez pitted straight after him on tyres as well. And I thought there was going for maybe a Perez to try and catch Russell. But as the race went on and it was like 5 seconds to 5 laps towards the end, you could see Perez was not going to catch Russell. Now, if that was 2 weeks ago, Perez would have caught him, but not now. So what do you think about that situation? Did you think that Perez was going to catch him?
Look, there was only a couple laps to go, but listen, I didn't thought Perez was going to catch him, nowhere near. Look, Red Bull said on the radio, look, Perez will be towards the end of the race. Last lap will be behind Russell for the podium positions, and he was catching up quick. Don't get me wrong; he was on the soft compound tires. He was catching up quick, but when it was 3 seconds, it was like 3 or 2 laps to go. I didn't thought he was going to catch you. Nowhere near.
I know.
Nowhere near, man.
Now, just looking at your tweet that you put on Twitter, one said, one mark, okay, it says, the best of all time, you said, someone deal with this joker. I'm just reading the tweet. Anyway, yeah, of course. So overall, what do you think of Mercedes' performance? Can you see him? Obviously, they got the new upgrade coming. What do you think about the new upgrade? Do you think it's going to do anything at Canada? The DRS
Look, you can
thing?
already see it now.
Yeah.
The Spain. They're already getting improvements in Spain, which is
Yeah.
this Grand Prix. And I think Canada, another good track for them. It's not tracks like Monaco and all that. It's a flat out track. Just like Spain is not really flat out, but I'm like
Spain. It's more sweeping.
It's a balanced track.
Yeah,
it's a balanced track. That's why you get like different people up there in the midfield. It's like you see Guan Yu Zhou got top 10 in the points. So it is a balanced track. And I think when we get to Canada, I think that's when Mercedes probably will not necessarily win, because I still think Red Bull's still the fastest car by miles. But if we get this DRS upgrade, because DRS is vital, you can see in that race it's vital. When you're in the main straights, you need DRS, man, and also the overtake to support. And I think as soon as we get to Canada, Mercedes will shine even more. And it's like
I know.
It's like with what season it was, 2022 season, where Mercedes was nowhere at the beginning, but as soon as it got to mid-season, it just started to improve a bit. It reminds me of this season as well. It's starting to improve a bit now, but it's earlier on in the season.
Big up Redbird, not into motorsport, just popped in to give you a like. Have a good show, guys. Thank you very much, Redbird. Thanks for your support and really appreciate it, bro. Really appreciate it. If you're doing anything, any videos or on the WhatsApp later, I'll pop in later and we can have a chat. Thanks for your continued support. Really appreciate it. So I'm going back to this interview now. This was they was asking Lewis Hamilton about his future. I've just saw Zanos on Twitter. This guy I follow, yeah, he's just hilarious, so funny. He's got a picture of this guy laughing his head off, and at the bottom it's saying Lewis Hamilton wants to go to Ferrari, and he's got someone laughing like that. This is what I'm talking about. People putting out false statements that he's going to Ferrari. He was never going to Ferrari. I knew he wasn't going to Ferrari. This is why when all these rumours were going around, I sat here, I just write, this would be good content for my video. I was going to sit back, let people bury themselves, and when it finally realises that he's not going to Ferrari, yeah, then I can come out and chat. And that's what I did on my video. Check out my video, Flaming Tarmac, on the channel now. So I'm going to play this quick, brief interview. This is from Lewis Hamilton. This is basically them asking him about his future with Mercedes. This has just happened, by the way. This is on Finger Network. I'm trying it.
Direction, and I know we have something in the pipeline moving forward. So, yeah, I'm hoping at least by the end of the year, maybe we can. It'd be great if we could challenge them. But I would say for me, I'm more focused on making sure that we have the car next year to challenge them from day one. And the further we continue to push this car this year, the more that impacts next year also in some ways, you know. So, but the more we learn about this car also then also sets us in the right direction. So it's trying to find the right balance. They're so far ahead, and, you know, ultimately Max will continue to win this year. But that means that they can start on their development for next year earlier than everybody else if they haven't already. And that's the danger. So we just got to keep working hard, but also try and get the right balance.
And Lewis, will you be at Mercedes next year to drive this car?
Well, I haven't signed anything yet, but I think we're meeting with TOTO tomorrow, so hopefully we can get something done. I think we're going.
So basically, he just came out and he said him and TOTO are gonna. He said he's looking forward to next season. I know he said Max is going to continue to win the race. He's basically winning the world title. And he also said he's going to sit down with TOTO. It'll probably take about half an hour to negotiate his new contract. So there you go. He's not going anywhere. So
why did he ask him, will you be at Mercedes to drive this car?
Because he's a media man and he just wants to get the answer, and he wants to be the first person to get the answer. He just wants to be the first person. Yeah, because it's a rhetorical, because he knows what the answer is. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So basically, he knows what the answer is. Everybody knows what the answer is, but he just wants to be the first one for Lewis to come out and say, no, I've signed the contract, so he can get the first scoop. That's all it is. So basically, it's Lewis Hamilton said he's more concentrating because he wants to concentrate having a good car for next year So when next year becomes, they can start winning from day one, not 4 or 5 races in from day one. He wants to hit the ground running. So that's it, man, for the live reaction. The debrief is coming on Monday. I can't wait until the next race, which is in 2 weeks, which is in Canada, which is an amazing track. Happy hunting ground for Lewis Hamilton. And that's it, man. That's it. He's got the record there as well, I think. So that's it. This is me signing that. Don't forget to hit the QR codes. QR code mine's at the top, the red one. Toto Hammers is at the bottom in the blue. And if you want to send us a coffee, click the yellow QR code. And that would go towards the channel. Not obligated, but would be appreciated. So this is Solo P1 and Toto Hammer signing out. Let me try and get some tunes before I go. Get the tunes going. This is Toto. There you go. We've got the tunes. There you go. See you later, guys.
Yeah, man.
1. Just wait for the bass to kick in. Ready? There you go. See you later, Toto.
Yeah.
See you later, guys.
See you later.